By now, you probably know all about Huawei's long-standing US trade ban. The Chinese company cannot conduct business with most US firms, including Google, except on the basis of a restrictive temporary license that has been renewed several times since May 2019. Given the circumstances, Huawei hasn't been able to launch new phones with Google Mobile Services, GMS. Why does it matter? Well, GMS is the heart and soul of most Android smartphones in the market. It comprises dozens of Google apps, APIs, and cloud-based services, such as Google Maps, Google Drive, YouTube, Google Photos, Google Play Store, Google Chrome, and more. Without GMS, Huawei phones not only miss out on these essential Google products, but they also lack a number of other popular apps like Twitter and Instagram. Plus, many other smaller apps depend on the infrastructure provided by Google through GMS. Huawei's only solution to combat the lack of GMS was to create its own competing platform-Huawei Mobile Services or HMS. HMS made its global debut with the launch of the Honor 9X Pro, Huawei Mate XS, and the Honor View 30 Pro. It is now supported by all Huawei phones and tablets, including older Huawei models with GMS launched before the ban. So what exactly does HMS contain and what does it mean for your next Huawei or Honor smartphone purchase? Hi, everyone. Welcome to TechTell, a channel to interpret news from a new perspective and explore the wisdom behind the news. Before we start today's video, please subscribe to our channel, which is the encouragement that we can create more videos. Okay, let's continue the topic we are talking about. First, what are Huawei Mobile Services, HMS? HMS is a platform from Huawei that replaces popular Google apps and services like Gmail, Maps, cloud storage, etc. on your Huawei and Honor phones. HMS also provides third-party developers with tools and services for creating their own apps. With HMS, Huawei aims to do for its own ecosystem everything that Google does for users and developers in the mainstream Android ecosystem. HMS has a user-facing component, App Gallery and other first-party Huawei apps and services, and a developer-facing component, called HMS Core. HMS Core is made up of various APIs, SDKs, and services that developers can use to create and improve apps. In fact, Huawei Mobile Services has been around for years, but Huawei relaunched and expanded the platform following the US ban that deprived it of Google Mobile Services. HMS is available on the global variants of the Huawei Mate 40, Huawei P40, Huawei P50, Mate 30 Pro, Mate XS, Honor 9X Pro, View 30 Pro, and more, complete with the pre-installed App Gallery. These are phones that Huawei launched post-US ban. HMS is also available, alongside GMS, on many other Huawei models launched before the ban. Huawei claims that HMS already has more than 650 million global monthly active users, and that its App Gallery is available in 170+ countries. We expect all future Huawei phones to run HMS. Even if Huawei somehow gets access to GMS again in the future, it's very likely that the company will continue to develop and promote HMS on its devices. When it comes to HMS, a lot is going on at the developer side of things. HMS includes a set of developer services called HMS Core. These include tools for location tracking, Sign-ins, in-app purchases, ads, face detection, text recognition, and more. Developers can use these core services as well as other APIs and SDKs provided by Huawei to create applications for HMS. Huawei built its own version of important APIs that developers would otherwise rely on GMS for. Without these APIs, a number of Android apps would simply not work on Huawei phones. This is why some Google apps can be sideloaded on Huawei phones but don't actually work. Back in December 2019, Huawei promised developers that, if their app exists on the Play Store, it will take them less than 10 minutes to port it over to HMS. The company has hundreds of APIs available across a number of dev kits that'll help developers create apps for HMS. Besides providing developers with the necessary tools, Huawei also incentivizes them with cash to port their apps to HMS. The company is reportedly working with developers in every market to ensure that top Android apps are pre-installed on Huawei phones. It's evident that Huawei still has a long way to go before its services can truly compete with those from Google. Huawei Mobile Services will also be a learning curve for users who have become comfortable with Google's products over the years. Unfortunately, Huawei can't really do much under the circumstances, except for expanding its own ecosystem. Hopefully, it'll become stronger over the next few years, or in a perfect world, their troubles will end and GMS will once again be allowed in Huawei phones. At last, let's take a look at Huawei App Gallery. The Huawei App Gallery replaces the Google Play Store on Huawei and Honor phones. Huawei has invested upwards of $1 billion to create apps for the App Gallery, which, according to the company, has already amassed a user base of 530 million monthly active users. The App Gallery has been around for a while. However, it still doesn't have a bunch of popular apps, putting it nowhere near the Google Play Store or even Apple's App Store. Currently, it segments applications across 18 different categories, including news, social media, entertainment, and more. So just which popular apps can you find on the App Gallery? Well, for now, you can find big names like Snapchat, WhatsApp, TikTok, Deezer, Amazon, Amazon Prime Videos, Booking.com, The Financial Times, BBC News, and more on the Huawei App Gallery. It also has some popular mobile games on board. Sadly, apps like Instagram, Twitter, and more are still absent from Huawei's App Store. However, we hear that at least some of those will make it to App Gallery soon. Obviously, there's no YouTube, Gmail, Google Photos, Google Maps, Drive, etc. These apps would probably not be available on Huawei phones until the US ban remains is lifted, provided Google would even want to publish them on Huawei's competing App Store. On the upside, Huawei says that if users can't find an app on the App Gallery, they can submit the desired app name to a wishlist. Once that app becomes available, the user who submitted it via wishlist will get notified. The Huawei App Gallery also offers an app called Petal Search. It is a one-stop shop for search, news, images, and app. If you have a Huawei P40 series device, Petal Search will be pre-installed. If you're on an older device like our Mate 30 Pro, you will have to install the app via Huawei App Gallery. A noteworthy feature of Huawei's App Gallery is something called Quick Apps. Much like Google's Instant Apps, these are installation-free apps that consume very little memory but work like native apps. Huawei says users can have more than 2,000 quick apps in place of 20 native apps with just 1 GB of space. We don't really know which apps are available in the form of quick apps, but the company claims that there are more than 1,700 of them released so far and more are on the way. Besides developing its own App Gallery, Huawei is also reportedly working with Xiaomi, Vivo, and Oppo to develop a unified app uploading service that would make it easier for developers to distribute their apps to users of the 4 OEMs. Not much is being said about this initiative right now, so it might be a while before it goes official. Okay, that's all for today. Please put your comments below and share your insightful ideas with other people. Thank you so much for your continuous support. Your precious time with us is highly appreciated.